Hey, Riri.
Hey, Sandy.
Oh, you got to do the song, baby. You got to do the song.
Mm. Mm. Me. Welcome. Welcome back. The girl, she did that. Welcome back. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back to Girl. She did that. Episode number 4.
Almost forgot.
Season 2. Me too. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling, let me go to my Rolodex of feelings. Feeling work.
Yes.
I am feeling content.
Okay, I like that.
How you feeling?
I am feeling optimistic.
Okay. Why you feel optimistic?
Oh, did y'all see that? The mic feel. What you
Yeah,
doing?
optimism.
It's just exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like what's the man's name? Donnie McClurkin. Get back up again. You know what I'm saying?
Get back up again. You know what I'm saying?
Before,
Get back up again.
fall down, we got to get back up. You know what I'm saying?
Get
Just like
back up again. For a saint, it's just a sinner who fell down.
yes. Come on, somebody. My God.
Start with this microphone.
I'm feeling optimistic. Just I feel like I'm in a much better space today than I was last week. So I feel optimistic. Things are going to be okay.
Yeah. See the light.
Yeah, lights. What you drinking today?
So today I'm drinking a little bit of Chardonnay.
Oh, we got Chardonnay and not Cabernet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what your wine tasting.
Just a little swoop.
I see it.
What about you? What are you drinking?
I have Roscato. So
What you reaching up to the sky for? Oh, okay.
I had to reach to heaven to get it, to pull it on down. There we go.
Had to get that glass from
So Jesus turned water into wine. So here we go.
Moscato.
So that's what I got today. So
Okay. And who are we honoring today?
today, I think our episode should go to every Black woman in America. What you think?
I love that.
I feel like last week, every Black woman felt the exact same way last Wednesday morning when they woke up. Some of us had to go to work still. Some of us called in. Some of us took a mental health day because we felt like the country has yet again put us in a place where we are just not enough. And Madam Vice President, if you hear this, we are proud of you. We salute you. We thank you for fighting the good fight and encouraging people to still continue to fight regardless of who the president may be. So this episode for me goes to all the Black women in America, and all the women who have supported Black women, all the allies that I think about, especially in my life, that's been extremely supportive and allowed a safe space for me to process.
Beautifully said. I really don't have anything to add.
You should say something. You should say something to the Black ladies. Say something to them. They need you. Say it.
No, I think you said it all. I don't think you left any room for me.
There's always space for you.
No, not in that one. That was perfect.
Not okay. All right. Shout out to all the Black ladies in the world.
Shout out to all the Black women in the world. Speaking of some love.
Ooh, love. We talking about love today?
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
Love.
we got me. Okay. Love languages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when's the first time you ever heard about like love languages?
So I think the first time that I heard love languages was probably in grad school.
Okay.
I can't recall like like, oh yeah, it was like on this day, da da da. But I just remember I was around that time frame, around that age. Um, and I was like, what is that? And I forgot if it was in class or what it was, but it was definitely during that time is
Mm.
when I first heard about love languages, and I think that that's when I had got more of an idea of how I love and then also how I love others, which is also two different ways, which is very interesting. But that's when I found out what love languages were. What about you?
I want to say I was in college and Dr. Karen McKenzie, she was one of my favorite professors in psychology. She had a whole course on relationships, like everything about relationships. Very popular. Like you would be up at midnight trying to get into the class because that's how good the class was. And in that class, she started to talk about Dr. Gary Chapman and how he had this idea of love languages. And from that point on, I think I've been extremely fascinated with love languages. And I even talk about it in my social psych class. Have my students take the test, everything. So I think that's when I first became introduced to it.
So what are the five love languages? We're just talking about it like everybody know what it is. Some
Okay,
people, but I'm sure there's some people who don't.
I did my little,
Not your handy dandy notebook.
yes, I'm a whole professor out here, so I have to have my notes. You know what I'm saying? All right, put some respect to my name. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
All right, so there are five different type of love languages.
Mm-hmm.
One being words of affirmations. So those are for people who prefer words of affirmation or verbal expressions of appreciation, encouragement, compliments, and kind words, and they mean the most to that person.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is active service. This love language is all about action that shows care. It involves helping or doing things that make life easier for other people or the other person, excuse me, like cooking a meal, doing chores, running errands, any thoughtful actions that show efforts or support.
Mm-hmm.
Number three is receiving gifts. For some, gifts are a tangible representation of love and thoughtfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not always about the material value, but the thought and effort behind the gift.
Mm-hmm.
Number four is quality time. So these individuals prioritize quality time and feel most loved when they have someone's full attention. So that's whether they engage in activities, having meaningful conversations, or spending uninterrupted time together. And they feel extremely valued with that. And then the last one is physical touch. So any sort of physical expression, holding hands, hugs, or other forms of affection, affectionate touch, sex, makes people with love languages feel love. I
Wow.
mean, it is a form of physical touch.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, this is not, ain't no kids listening to this, so
You don't know.
ain't no kid. Trust me, I hit that button. Not for kids, not for, not for kids. So those are the five love languages. Out of
Okay.
those, what do you think is yours?
So I'll rank mine. I do believe that
Okay.
us as human beings need all five of them,
Okay.
but I'll rank mine. My number one will be quality time.
Okay.
My second one, I would say now that you've like refreshed my memory on what physical touch is, I think that might be number two for me.
Okay.
Like not necessarily the sex, but more.
What? Or as my husband called it. Gooing. No,
Who?
what? Gooing. That's some
Going?
country
Like with a
shit.
G?
Yeah, gooing.
Not the doing, but the
No,
going.
if you ain't going, then what you doing? That's what he say.
Did you ever ask him what that means? Like, what did he?
Listen, he has his own language, and I let him relish in that. So I know what it means. Other people may not know what it means.
I think now everyone does know what it means now.
Now everybody knows.
Now everybody
He's gonna hate me for telling everybody that, but
does.
I don't think he's gonna listen to it. So it's fine. It's fine.
Anywho, but yeah, I mean, I like to hug. I like to touch. I like to hold hands. Like everybody knows that I'm the touchy feely friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say number 2.
Okay.
I think that third is acts of service. I'm kind of a tie between acts of service and words of affirmation.
Okay.
I struggle, and receiving gifts is definitely last for
Okay.
me. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
What about you?
Well, when we took the husband and I took the quiz, we both were quality time. So that was number 1. And then for me, I think it would be maybe words of affirmation. I think I thrive on that. Acts of service. Physical touch would be up there somewhere. And then receiving gifts will probably last too.
Okay.
It's not really that important.
That's very interesting. Okay.
What?
Because I thought that like receiving gifts, or maybe more so gift giving, would be higher for you.
Well, okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. So I think me receiving, as far as like with my partner, those would be. But as far as me in a relationship or friendship, my number 1 would be acts of service or like giving gifts or something like meaningful. I think that would be on that side of the house, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you show love to others with the love languages?
I think mine, like I said, I think mine is more of the acts of service, um, gifts. I mean, not so much gifts. If I buy somebody a gift or something like that, I feel like it's very meaningful. I try to put a lot of meaning into why I'm like either purchasing a gift or making something or like creating an experience or something like that. I feel like it's a lot of, for me, it has to be a lot of meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just going to like go out and just buy something random for you. Like it's a reason why I'm buying this for you or getting something for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think mine is more so words of affirmation.
Okay.
That's what I give to
Oh,
others.
that's what you give?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I give a lot of words of affirmation.
Let me see. 1 second, please. Let's see.
Is that in your notebook? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm checking Brianna's. Let me 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Open my tab. I guess.
I think it's right there. Where is
Okay.
it?
What is it?
Yeah. Quality time. I think quality time will be up there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I think that I just have a lot of words of affirmation people around me.
Okay.
That's what they need. So I think that I've just gotten better at it. Like I'm just like, oh, like you just want me to compliment you. I can do that.
No.
That's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no biggie.
Okay.
Like I actually do think you're an amazing person. Actually, I just don't. Now I just say it more.
Often. Yeah. Don't say that often. Okay.
Like, yeah, you know. But yeah, I think that's what I give, and I do give quality time as well. Like I do talk a lot, obviously, emphasis on the podcast. But yeah, you know, so you know, words of affirmation, you know, quality time, those things, definitely for sure. I was talking to a friend actually not too long ago, a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
We were talking about love languages, and I was telling her, I was like, in my opinion, I feel like the things that you get at the top are the things that you think you need because that's usually what you receive. So like it's the thing that you constantly get, maybe naturally due to your personality or um to your environment. But I think that the things that are at the bottom, the last two, are probably the things you need more than the first two. Because those are the things that go neglected,
Okay.
in my opinion. So I feel like I think that now having that conversation out loud with her, I think that I want to do more of the bottom two
Okay.
than focusing more on the top two.
Okay.
I feel like your environment's kind of either naturally or has been trained to like give you these things.
Well, that leads into my next question is do you think your love languages shifts when you're in different parts of the lifespan?
Different parts of the lifespan. I haven't experienced too much of the lifespan because I'm a very young lady, so
Really?
young.
Are we doing that right now?
Yes. So I can't, I'm pretty limited in that because, you know, I'm a young tender Roni. So I'll try to answer that question to the best of my ability. Okay.
Okay, well, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it.
Depends on if you're going to try to age me. But go ahead. Go
Okay,
for it.
so do you think your love language shifts depending on what stage of life you're in? So let's say 20s versus your 30s.
Hmm. I don't think that they've necessarily changed as far as the order. I think that they've changed as far as how I prefer to have them.
Okay. Okay.
So, back in our 20s, we had a whole bunch of time, sit around, chit chat, and, we didn't have responsibilities and this, and that. So I could do a lot of quality time,
Not chit chat.
you know, all that chit chat.
Chit chat.
And your friends' priorities change. We went from no kids to multiple kids. Like, where did all these kids come from? You went from, single life to now having a husband, whatever the case may be. So the quality time looks different. So I think that just appreciating the quality time more because it's like, oh, I took time out of my busy schedule. Or, oh, I am a mother and well, not me, but like my friends are mother and they have children,
Uh-huh.
and they have taken a little spot for Brie. Like, oh yeah, Brie, I'm gonna call you tonight at 8:00. I know I haven't talked to you. I know you've been trying to reach out to me, but like today, I'm gonna call you at 8:00. Like that that to me, that's quality time that looks different now.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me because I know how much time it takes to play those other roles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you are prioritizing me, saying like, oh yeah, I do need to spend quality time with Bianca, like I need to pick up and see like what's going on, let's check in, to me still is a priority for me. It still is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily changing the order, but the way that it looks. I think that evolves.
Okay. All right. You did a good job. That was good. That was good.
Oh, okay. What about you?
Um, I agree that 20s to 30s definitely a change. Like mine was definitely like quality time, which it still is. But now that I'm married, I think acts of service is also important, given that now we're sharing responsibilities. Um, I appreciate the husband like cooking for me most days and like making sure I got a bath towel and like doing those little things that I would just normally do on my own, but I appreciate those things. He doesn't have to do those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Level out some of that dependence with someone else. So
Mm-hmm. And I think that also, you know what? I think that also now in my 20s, going into my 30s, like I have accumulated more friends, different friends that have the similar lifestyle as me now in my 30s. And I think that they have shown up in a different love language. And like, I'm not like big on like gifts, like because I am like, oh, I'm present, I'm here. Like I feel like that's enough. But being around people who like actually give like birthday gifts, and I'm like, okay, we're doing that. Like we're not just gonna go to dinner and drink and go home. Like I have to actually think about a present. Like I have to actually think like, okay, all right, like it's a few people in this girl group, So I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, like that's a few gifts. That's a few gifts. That's a few gifts when you think about it. Like when you add it up versus like my time, that was kind of free 99.
Not free 99.
It was free. Some people like oh, it's really expensive. It's really not. It's really not that expensive.
I'm dead.
Not according to my bank account. Like if I sit over here or if I sit over there, my bank account is still the same number. But if I give you a gift and I give you a gift, oh, now my bank account's looking a little different. However, it was nice to, and that's why I said, your bottom two might be something to explore as you get older, because you don't exercise that love language. So then, of course, like when people don't give you gifts or you don't receive gifts, and that's that at the bottom, you're like, okay, that's fine. Like I ain't really received no gift. But then when you do actually date a person who's a gift giver, you're like, whoa. Sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, or it makes you then become more creative and more thoughtful in that way of like, oh, okay, like the gift doesn't have to be something expensive. It could just literally be like, I went to the Family Dollar to go get, some soap, but I know that you like chips.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go grab you some chips.
Hot fries.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that you like hot fries. So it's like, oh, I just grabbed some and I'm bringing them home. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I just ran out of hot fries. Like, I didn't even know that. I just was like, it was 2 for 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So, just thinking of like, just those things. So, and also acts of service. I think that being in my most recent relationship, that was definitely something different for me. Somebody who was cooking for me, somebody who was doing for me, who was, doing all those things. I was just like,
this is weird.
Right. Like it was just a weird feeling. And it was kind of like you had to like kind of check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can self-sabotage, be like, oh no, it's not that. No, you don't have to do that. No, keep doing that. That's where my words of affirmation come. Like, oh my God, you cooked this for me. This is so good. Like, this is amazing. So it's like, of course, people who cook, they love for people to hear about how great their cooking is. And guess what ends up happening? They cook more.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So now I get to eat more. Just by speaking the truth. It's not like the food is nasty. But all I had to do was just say, oh, yeah, this is good. Like, what you put in this? You know what I'm saying? Just do a little extra. Guess what? Tomorrow I get another plate.
Oh, my God.
I could probably take some to lunch. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the to-go box. Like, yeah, I did this for you. Don't forget your lunch. You know what I'm saying? The next morning, don't forget your lunch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I almost forgot my lunch. I was tripping. Not this good steak you made last night.
Right.
Did you put the potatoes in there too? And so, those things. So that's why I was just like, oh, maybe I do need to like get better at. I need to get better at the things at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I have mastered and I can maintain the things that. So, yeah. Have you experienced conflict because of a mismatched love language?
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. Thank God I'm with the person I'm with now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait,
I mean, like, I mean, when I dated people, you could definitely tell like my love language. They had never experienced that before, so that was like too much for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it came with the sabotage. It came with ghosting. It came with those things. But when I met the husband, we were very similar in a lot of those things, like acts of service, or like I'll do you, like you did that. Oh, you ran me a whole bath when I got off of work. Like, oh, I got to outdo you. So then it become
Competition.
now it becomes a competition, and we enjoy doing those things when we actually have time and all that. But I think definitely in the past it definitely created some forms of conflict for sure.
I think that for me, as far as the mismatch or conflict, I think that a person knowing your love language, and then when they are upset or you're in a disagreement, I think that that's where that person can flip the love language. So if
Mm.
you know that I like my love language, my number one love language is quality time, then you could potentially be like, "Oh, I'm mad, so I'm not going to talk to you. Like
not
I'm
being,
not going to spend time." Hmm?
not being spiteful.
Basically, I mean, I feel like that's when it could become mismatch. When somebody is not showing up the way they usually would show up because they are in a disagreement, or they are um you're in an argument or a disagreement, whatever. So
Or using your love language against you, huh?
yeah, I feel like sometimes people do. I feel like sometimes people use your love language, like they know that, like, oh yeah, like I know that you like spending time with me, so I'm mad at you, so I don't want to do that today.
My lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I guess I've never thought about it in that way.
Mm-hmm. Or like if somebody, if you're same argument, you are a words of affirmation person. You make them dinner, you do these things for them to like try to engage them back into, the relationship, and they're not giving you that. They're just like they just start eating.
Mm.
Like before you used to praise me for these things. Before you used to, do these things. Or, now that you're mad at me, you don't bring me my favorite flowers home.
Mm.
You don't bring, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like sometimes people could use the love that they give, or the love that you want to be shown, against you. They and again, there's some situations where, like, you know, that may be present, but I think that every conversation, or 90% of, conflict, shouldn't result to that,
Mm.
in my opinion. Like I feel like you should utilize pull those cards for big things, not for small disagreements.
Mm. You done dropped some dimes, some gems on me tonight with that one. My lord. Okay, I think I can have one last question. If you could give one piece of advice to someone trying to communicate their love language needs, what would it be?
Um, I would first recommend them taking the quiz or test or whatever. And it's an easy, like, Google. There's plenty of free, like, love language quizzes online. Um, them taking it with the person that they're having the conflict with, and then, sharing each other's results, and just going into examples of, like, okay, this is accurate, and like this is how I love to be shown in this particular area, and this is how I like for my love to be shown in it. Like, and just go by all five of them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that it should just stop at one and two. Like, I feel like you should go through all five. That's what I would recommend, and then hopefully there'll be some type of improvement from there.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's a good recommendation.
What about you?
Um, I wasn't prepared to answer the question.
You weren't prepared to answer a question that you asked me?
Of course not.
Okay, no problem.
I would also recommend the test, quiz, whatever. And I would recommend, especially if you are like getting to know somebody and you think it's gonna like, go a little bit further, maybe have incorporated into like a date night. To like have like, a day night at home if you want to do wine or painting and do the test and talk about some of those questions and to really get to know each other. I think that's a good way to get to know your partner, especially if you are seeking to be married one day with them. I think that would be a good tool to use to help like get to know them better, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I think that's a great way because it won't feel like you're interrogating them. It's just a fun way of like getting to know that person um on a deeper level. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's very easy, like not too much pressure. Yeah.
Do you remember Dr. Perry giving us the relationship questionnaire, like application? You remember that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
divorce mediation? Uh I really wish I like could find it, like, and like give it out to people, like, because it was actually really good. Now maybe that might be a bit intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
the app, but I think it has some really good questions on there.
Oh, you mean like when you say handout, you mean like people who are dating and being like, "Hey, can you fill this out?" Is that what you?
Like I'm saying, like if you with somebody that you really serious with, not just randomly get the application out to somebody, like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, no.
So this is not first date, maybe
No,
second date. This is like
this
maybe
is
fifth
like
or sixth date.
I would say maybe even let's get to 12,
Okay. Are we
maybe
not married by then?
the 12th date.
Yeah, I feel like we should be married by the third.
What? Don't.
Are you not in love with me by now? Like
I mean, we was pretty much in love by the third date. I mean, I could say
exactly. Like
that,
it's funny.
but I think the husband was a different type of man, though. He was somebody I had never engaged with before.
I need somebody sure. That's
Like
what you get. That's what you
like
end up having.
like that. You only been on 3 dates with me. I'm confused.
He was sure.
I mean, clearly, I'm still here. So
Correct.
yeah, yeah. You said not by 3 you want to be married. By 12.
By 12, I'm pregnant. Well, I'm in my mid 30s. Like
We ain't got
you
time.
only have 30 minutes. What are you talking about?
Bree, you a whole fool.
I'm just saying, like, okay, my favorite color is blue. Yeah. Yeah. On walks on the beach. I like, yeah.
Yeah, I like all that.
I like to drink wine. Yeah. I love dogs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Move on. Do you want to marry me or no?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anyway, don't even know how we got on that.
Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. You want to wrap it up? Let's wrap it up.
So as always, please subscribe. Please, please follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We now have merch.
Yes, we do.
Yes. We have merch. It is on all those same platforms. And we have a deal going on with 15% off until December 4th.
Yes.
So get your merch for your family, your friends. Christmas is coming up.
Around the corner.
Yes, it's very nice merch, very cute. We have some cute luggage. We have, cups. We have sweatshirts, fanny packs. We have so many things, and we have pretty good shipping. I think it takes about
3 to 4 business days.
yeah. So not too bad. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Take a picture. We would love to share it on our social media.
A picture.
And also, share your love language with your family and friends. We would love to hear about it. Love to hear the feedback on what your love language and what your partner love language is, and how you all show up in your love language.
Mm-hmm.
Comment, subscribe. all those good things.
Yes. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.